7 Atlanta, fuel dump is approved.
Thank you.
In the vast sky, where planes fly and dreams take flight, there are some stories that puzzle and intrigue us. Imagine planes disappearing without a trace or crashing in strange ways. Florida Flight 90. Seconds after takeoff from Washington, D.C., the pilots of a 737 struggle desperately to keep their plane in the air. 79 lives hang in the balance as their aircraft begins to slip towards the icy waters of the Potomac River. How did they get into this situation in the first place? And do they have any chance of making it out? This is the story of Air Florida Flight 90. On a wintry afternoon in January of 1982, 74 passengers and 5 crew boarded Air Florida Flight 90. But little did they know, their journey would turn into a scary story. The plane started its trip, flying high above the city. Everything seemed fine, but suddenly, there was a big bump. The plane shook a lot and people got scared. Inside the plane, alarms started ringing, and the pilots tried hard to fix whatever was wrong. But things got worse. The plane had difficulty climbing after rotation and stalled, and the pilots rolled the plane down the runway. The pilots failed to switch on the plane's internal ice protection systems. The airplane hit the bridge that connects Interstate 395 in Washington, D.C. to Arlington County, Virginia. It smashed into 7 cars with people inside and broke a part of the guardrail, then fell into the Potomac River through the ice. There were 74 passengers and 5 crew members on the plane. Only 4 passengers and 1 crew member, a flight attendant, survived. One of the passengers, Arlen D. Williams, Jr., helped save the survivors but unfortunately drowned before he could be saved himself. 4 people in cars on the bridge died. Civilians and professionals rescued the survivors from the cold river. Days and weeks passed, but there was no sign of the plane. Families of the people on board waited and hoped, but it felt like a long, sad wait. Finally, the search had to stop. There were no answers, just sadness and questions. Despite extensive investigations, the exact cause of the crash remains unknown. Several theories have been proposed, including mechanical failure, pilot error, or even sabotage, but none have been confirmed. Reason of crash. One of the main challenges in solving the mystery is the lack of physical evidence. Additionally, the swampy terrain posed significant obstacles to search and rescue efforts. Another aspect adding to the mystery is the suddenness of the crash. The flight was reportedly routine until the moment it encountered trouble, leaving passengers and crew little time to react or send distress signals. Furthermore, the disappearance of the plane's black box, which records flight data and cockpit conversations, has compounded the mystery. Without this crucial piece of evidence, investigators have been unable to piece together the events leading up to the crash. According to the National Transportation Safety Board, NTSB's findings, the aircraft encountered precipitation after being de-iced but before being cleared for takeoff, which played a role in the accident. It is known that the Boeing 737 aircraft tends to pitch up when its leading edge is contaminated with snow or ice. Additionally, the crew failed to activate the engine anti-ice system, which is designed to prevent sensors in the engines from freezing and providing inaccurate engine power readings. The NTSB also notes that the aircraft took off with ice still covering portions of the wings, which could affect the wings' lifting properties. The clean airplane requirement is based on the knowledge that even small amounts of snow or ice could substantially impact an airplane's lift, and therefore its takeoff performance. The combination of these factors has led to speculation and uncertainty surrounding the fate of Florida Flight 90. Despite decades passing since the tragic event, the mystery endures, leaving families and aviation enthusiasts alike searching for answers. Pan Am Flight 7. Up until shortly after 5 p.m. on November 8, 1957, everything was normal aboard Pan American Flight 7 as the Boeing Stratocruiser made its way across the Pacific Ocean from San Francisco en route to Honolulu. The weather was great. Final pre-departure checks had been all thumbs up. It was the year 1957. All 44 individuals on board, including both crew and passengers, were attired in appropriate flying attire. Suits and ties for gentlemen and elegant dresses for ladies were customary. Stewardesses, adorned with the iconic Pan Am smile, gracefully navigated the aisles in high heels, presenting passengers with complimentary Benson and Hedges cigarettes to accompany their cocktails. By 5:30 p.m. smoke was filling the passenger cabin, and soon the plane was plummeting 10,000 feet into the shark-filled ocean. What happened aboard the plane, called Romance of the Skies, remains officially a mystery. Despite extensive search efforts, no wreckage or survivors were ever found. The disappearance of Pan Am Flight 7 remains one of the most enduring mysteries in aviation history, with theories ranging from mechanical failure to sabotage. In the absence of concrete evidence, speculation continues to swirl around the fate of the aircraft and its passengers. What caused the sudden loss of communication? Did the plane encounter unforeseen challenges, or was there something more sinister at play? The article from Smithsonian Magazine highlighted this incident and shed light on this mysterious phenomenon. They mentioned that this incident changed the life of a 6-year-old boy named Ken Fortenberry. On board that plane was his 35-year-old father, Bill, a co-pilot and flight navigator. After years of research, he revealed the mystery behind this flight in his newly released book, Flight 7 is Missing: The Search for My Father's Killer. He called this incident as the largest air-sea search and rescue mission in history. Did a foreign force bring down Flight 7? This was during the Cold War, and on board were U.S. government officials headed toward Asia. Were they targets? Did a UFO down Flight 7? UFOs were much the discussion during the 1950s after several highly reported sightings. In fact, the author's father had had a highly publicized sighting himself in 1952 while on board a DC-4 Clipper. At one point, clairvoyants called remote viewers even took on the mystery by trying to probe their own inner consciousness for answers. The Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine General Command, PFLPGC, was initially considered the prime suspect due to a threat it had issued against U.S. and Israeli interests prior to the bombing. Additionally, Iran emerged as a potential suspect early on, with speculation that it sought revenge for the shooting down of Iran Air Flight 655 by the USS Vincennes in July 1988. Abolghasem Mesbahi, a former head of Iranian intelligence operations in Europe who defected to Germany, later supported this theory. Mesbahi claimed that Iran had enlisted the help of Libya and Abu Nidal, a Palestinian guerrilla leader, to carry out the attack on Pan Am 103. Private Eyes Paul Foote and Dr. Jim Swire, a relative of a PA-103 victim, found it highly unlikely that a Toshiba cassette radio IED could have brought down PA-103 just 8 weeks after the arrest of the PFLPGC cell in Frankfurt. Scottish police had even prepared an arrest warrant for Marwan Kresat in the spring of 1989, but they were persuaded by the FBI not to issue it due to Kresat's importance as an intelligence asset. Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370. In the early hours of March 8, 2014, Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370 embarked on what was meant to be a routine journey from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing. However, what followed was a sequence of events that would baffle experts and captivate the world's attention for years to come. As the Boeing 777-200ER aircraft climbed into the night sky, little did anyone know that it would soon vanish without a trace, leaving behind a trail of questions and speculation. As the hours passed and the plane failed to arrive at its destination, concern turned to panic as authorities realized that MH370 had disappeared from radar screens. A massive search and rescue operation was launched, involving numerous countries and resources, but despite their best efforts, no sign of the missing aircraft could be found. In the absence of concrete evidence, theories and speculation began to emerge, each attempting to unravel the mystery of MH370's disappearance. Some experts suggested that a catastrophic mechanical failure could have caused the plane to crash into the ocean, while others theorized that someone on board may have intentionally diverted the aircraft from its intended flight path. Among the myriad of theories, conspiracy theories also gained traction, fueling public imagination and debate. One such theory proposed that the plane was hijacked and flown to a remote location, while another speculated that the aircraft was shot down by military forces who mistook it for a threat. Some even went as far as to suggest that the passengers and crew were still alive, held by unknown perpetrators. Despite the extensive search efforts spanning vast expanses of the Indian Ocean and beyond, the wreckage of MH370 remained elusive. With each passing day, hope of finding survivors dwindled, leaving families and loved ones of those on board in a state of anguish and uncertainty. Over the years, people kept looking for MH370, but they had fewer resources and less attention. Still, the mystery of the missing plane stayed on people's minds in the aviation world and beyond. Families of the passengers and crew didn't give up hope. They wanted answers and closure. Without clear proof, what happened to Malaysia Airlines flight MH370 remains a big puzzle in aviation history. Until they find the plane's wreckage and figure out what really happened, the story of MH370 will keep reminding us how fragile life can be and how there are things we still don't know. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed watching these unsolved conspiracy theories. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section, and don't forget, like this video and subscribe to this channel for more videos.